Students, in the last video, we studied about the factors affecting the chemical reaction, isn't it? And we studied about all the 5 factors, that is nature of the reactants, size of the particles of reactants, concentration of the reactants, temperature of the reaction, and catalyst. Yes, and we studied this. Do you know also? Now, let us continue with oxidation and reduction today. Okay. So, see, many types of substances give reactions called oxidation and reduction. Let us learn more about these reactions. When chemical reactions takes place, that time that is many types of substances, they give reactions, that is called as oxidation and reduction. Now see, magnesium plus oxygen. Okay, now see, I'll show it to you. See, magnesium plus oxygen, okay, they form magnesium oxide. Now, see, Mg plus O2, okay, forms MgO. Now, C plus O2 forms CO2. Now, see, in both of these reactions, okay, you can observe one common thing, okay. What you can observe, see, this is magnesium, right, and this is carbon. Now, when it combines with oxygen to form MgO. So, this magnesium formed magnesium oxide. Mg formed MgO. So, what happened during this reaction? Magnesium was oxidized to magnesium oxide and carbon was oxidized to carbon dioxide. So, in these two reactions, oxygen was gained, isn't it? Yes, that is the reactant. Okay, so which are the reactants? Now you are quite familiar with the reactants. So to the left hand side are the reactants. So these are the reactants, right? Yes, and see, these are the products. Yes, so when the reactants, okay, combine with oxygen to form a product, okay, yes, that time we say oxidation reaction has taken place. Now see, this was the case in these two equations. Now let us consider the next two equations. Okay, now see, here magnesium, you can see here magnesium hydride, okay, MgH2, okay, it decomposed into magnesium plus hydrogen. Now what happened, this MgH2 got, yes, it lost hydrogen, isn't it? It lost hydrogen. Now see, CH3, what is this? CH3, that is C2H6, isn't it? Yes, so it is ethane, right? Yes, ethane. Now what happened here? CH3, it has lost hydrogen, isn't it? See, you can see it became CH2, so it has lost hydrogen. So here also we say that what? Oxidation has taken place. Now see, don't get confused. Now in the reactions, when the reactants combine, okay, so these two, okay, so you can see here these two equations, this one and this one, what happened in both of these cases? Oxygen was gained, that is the reactant combined with oxygen, okay, these are the reactants, both the reactant combined with oxygen to and it gained oxygen, isn't it? Now in these two cases, what happened? In these two cases, the reactant lost hydrogen, right? Yes. So in all these 4 cases, okay, we say that oxidation reaction has taken place. Okay. Yes. Now see, in the reactions, okay, 20, 21, okay, this and this, a reactant combines with oxygen, whereas in 22 and 23 hydrogen, okay, hydrogen is removed from the reactant. So all these are examples of the oxidation reaction. Now the chemical reaction in which reactant combines, so this is very important, okay, oxidation reaction, this definition. So the chemical reaction in which a reactant, see once again, the chemical reaction in which the reactant combines, say the in which a reactant combines with oxygen or loses hydrogen to form a product is called oxidation reaction. So what is this oxidation reaction? Definition, very important. See, the chemical reaction in which the reactant combines with oxygen, okay, or loses hydrogen in these two cases. Yes, so loses hydrogen to form a product, okay. Yes, we call it as oxidation reaction. So such type of chemical reactions are called as oxidation reactions. So in first two cases you can see that oxygen was gained, and in next two equations you can see that hydrogen was lost. Okay, so in both the cases we say that it is oxidation reaction. Some oxidation reactions are brought about by use of specific chemical substances. So, see, some oxidation reactions, okay. So, how can we bring it about? By using some specific chemical substances. Now, see, ethyl alcohol, CH3CH2OH is ethyl alcohol, okay. Now, this ethyl alcohol, okay, is oxidized, okay, to acetic acid, CH3COOH. Now what has happened here? You can see that hydrogen is lost and oxygen is gained, isn't it? So this is oxidation reaction. But who is bringing about this oxidation? Potassium chromate, okay, K2Cr2O7, and or it is sulfuric acid, okay. So here the acidic potassium dichromate makes oxygen available for the oxidation of the reactant ethyl alcohol. So what is the work of this? See, what is the work of this potassium dichromate? It is going to provide this oxygen, okay. It is going to provide this oxygen for whom? For this reactant, okay, to that is for the process of oxidation. Such chemical substances which bring about an oxidation reaction by making oxygen available are called oxidants or oxidizing agents. So such type of substances, okay, such type of substances which makes oxygen available for the reactant for the process of oxidation, we call them as oxidizing agents, okay. We call them as oxidizing agents. So which are the oxidizing agents in this reaction? Potassium dichromate, okay, potassium dichromate, or this sulfuric acid. Do you know a variety of oxidants are used to bring about a controlled oxidation? Okay, so potassium dichromate, sulfuric acid. Now see, you know, various substances are used as oxidants. Okay, various substances are used as oxidants. Now see, which are those? Potassium dichromate. This K2Cr2O7 is what? Potassium dichromate. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. Then KMNO4 is potassium permanganate. Again, sulfuric acid are the commonly used chemical oxidants. Okay. Now, hydrogen peroxide. Okay. Hydrogen peroxide, H2O2s. These formulas are very important. Okay. You should become familiar with these formulas now. H2O2 is what? Hydrogen peroxide is used as a mild oxidant. Okay. So, it's not a strong oxidant. It is a mild oxidant. So ozone O3, okay, is also a chemical oxidant. So this ozone also is a chemical oxidant. Nascent oxygen is generated by chemical oxidants and it is used for the oxidation reaction. So you know oxygen always exists in the form of O2. Now, you know, if it exists in the form of just O, okay, if it exists in the form of O, then we write it in the bracket, okay, and it is called as nascent oxygen. So, this oxidizing agents which are there, they are going to provide nascent oxygen for the reaction, okay, for the oxidation reaction. Now see this O3, you know O3 is what? Ozone, isn't it? So see this nascent oxygen is provided. Hydrogen peroxide, again it's providing nascent oxygen. Potassium dichromate with sulfuric acid, okay. See, you can see it has provided the nascent oxygen for the reaction. Then potassium permanganate, okay, KMNO4, okay, plus sulfuric acid. Again, these two in combination, they are going to provide nascent oxygen for the reaction. Nascent oxygen is a state prior to the formation of the oxygen molecule. So, before the formation of O2 molecule, okay, nascent oxygen is formed. So, it is the reactive form of oxygen and it is represented by writing the symbol as O. I have told you. Now, which is the oxidant used for purification of drinking water? Yes, can you tell which is the oxidant used for purification of drinking water? See, you might be knowing this, which oxidant we use for purification of drinking water, isn't it? Chlorine is used because you know chlorine is a strong oxidizing agent. Now, why is potassium permanganate used during cleaning water tanks? Now, you know potassium permanganate is also an oxidizing agent. That is why it is used for cleaning water tanks. See, potassium permanganate is a very strong oxidizing agent. It helps in the oxidation of dissolved iron, manganese and hydrogen sulfide. Therefore, due to these reasons, potassium permanganate is used during cleaning water tanks. Okay? Yes. So you know now why it is used, because it helps in the oxidation of this, you know, the iron and all which is dissolved, minerals which are dissolved in the water. Okay, so it helps in the oxidation of such dissolved minerals like iron, manganese and H2. Yes, that is hydrogen sulfide. Now see, we have seen just now that potassium permanganate is a chemical oxidant. Now have a look at the following reactions. Now see, you know, just now we saw that KMNO4 in acidic medium, that is when you add sulfuric acid to that, okay, what happens? Nascent, that is it provides oxygen, isn't it? It provides oxygen for the reaction, for the oxidation reaction. Now see this potassium, they have given you the reaction KMNO4, okay, KMNO4 plus ferrous sulfate FeSO4 plus sulfuric acid, okay, it forms K2SO4, okay, this is potassium sulfate plus K2SO4 plus SO4 manganese sulfate plus Fe2SO4 thrice. Okay, Fe2, how to read this? Fe2SO4 thrice. Okay, that 3 is for yes also and for O also, isn't it? So Fe2SO4 thrice plus 8H2O. So potassium KMnO4, FeSO4, H2SO4, these are the reactants. They are going to combine with each other to form K2SO4, MnSO4, all sulfates. Okay, remember, it will be easy for you to remember. See, all are sulfates, isn't it? Potassium sulfate, manganese sulfate and iron sulfate. Okay, that is ferrous sulfate. So, you know, 3 elements, that is potassium, iron, yes, and you can see here ferrous. Sorry, if iron and ferrous is one, manganese. Okay, so potassium K, Mn and Fe, right? So all these 3 are metals, isn't it? 3 metals are there over here, you can see. This is for you to remember. I am telling you easy way. Okay, potassium sulfate, okay, manganese sulfate and ferrous sulfate. Now see, plus 8H2O. Now, which compound is oxidized by KMnO4 in presence of acid in this reaction? Of course, it is FeSO4, isn't it? Now, this you have seen in the reaction before. See, KMnO4 plus H2SO4. Okay, these two together they are going to provide oxygen for this ferrous sulfate. Okay, this that is, it is going to provide, okay, oxygen for the oxidation reaction. So these are the oxidants, isn't it? Now see, K2SO4 plus MnSO4. Okay, so Fe2SO4 thrice. You can see the oxidation has taken place over here. So which compound is oxidized by potassium permanganate in presence of acid in this reaction? So of course it is ferrous sulfate. Here FeSO4 is transformed into Fe2SO4 thrice. So let us now see how this conversion is an oxidation reaction. So see, FeSO4, okay, forms Fe2SO4 thrice. So what has happened here? See, Fe2 plus, okay, yes, Fe2 plus, it is a cation, okay, and SO4 2 minus, okay, yes, they are going to combine and form Fe3 plus and SO4 2 minus. So the net change, okay, take place in the above conversion is shown by the net ionic reaction as shown below. So what is the ionic reaction taken place? Which ionic reaction? Fe2 plus became Fe3 plus, right? So here see, this ferrous sulfate, okay, you can see here, this ferrous sulfate was converted into ferric sulfate. Okay, yes. Now see, the okay, this net ionic reaction represents the oxidation brought about by KMnO4. When ferric ion formed from ferrous ion, the positive charge is increased by 1 unit. So what has happened? See, during the conversion of this ferrous into ferric, 1 ion has increased, isn't it? So Fe2 plus became Fe3 plus. But during this reaction, what has happened? See, 1 electron has been lost by this Fe, right? And that is why this became Fe3 plus, correct? Yes. Yeah. Now see, while this happens, the ferrous ion loses 1 electron. From this we understand a new definition of oxidation, which is oxidation means losing 1 or more electrons. So see, one more new definition, okay, regarding this oxidation. So what is this? What is this? Oxidation means losing an electron also, okay. losing one or more electron. Yes, see, you can see here it has lost one electron. This Fe2 plus, okay, has lost one electron, and that is why the positive charge has increased over here. So it became Fe3 plus. So oxidation means losing one or more electrons. Now, can you tell, look at the chemical equation 6. What is the type of this reaction in which Vanaspati ghee is from vegetable oil? So, here see the chemical reaction in which reactants gain hydrogen are called reduction reactions. Now, in the equation 6, okay, yes, it's quite behind. Let us go behind, okay, yes. I'll show it to you. Equation 6. Still it is quite behind. Yes, we are over there, I think. A little nearer. Okay, see. Here you can see in this equation, okay. Yes, vegetable oil plus hydrogen has formed Vanaspati ghee. Now here what has happened? Hydrogen has been gained, isn't it? In oxidation reaction you saw hydrogen was lost and oxygen was gained. But here what has happened? Hydrogen has been gained, right? So this type of reaction we call it as what? Reduction reaction. Okay, now let us continue. See, the chemical reaction in which reactants gain hydrogen are called reduction reactions. Similarly, the reaction in which the reactant loses oxygen to form the product is called the reduction reaction. Just the vice versa, okay? Just see, I'll show you. Now, here you can see in oxidation, okay, yes, what had happened, what was the definition of oxygen? The chemical reaction in which the reactant combines with oxygen, right? There it is going to be loses oxygen, okay, so it's going to combine with what? Hydrogen, right? Yes, so see, it's going to combine with hydrogen over here, or lose in this oxidation reaction it is going to lose hydrogen, but there in reduction reaction it is going to lose oxygen, right? Yes, to form the product, okay. So see, the in oxidation reaction you saw the chemical reaction in which a reactant combines with oxygen or loses hydrogen, that is oxidation. In reduction, the chemical reaction in which a reactant combines with what? Hydrogen and loses oxygen. So such type of reaction we call it as reduction reaction. Okay. Now see, and one more thing, yes, that also is behind. See, here, see, oxidation means losing one or more electron, isn't it? So, reduction has to be what? It is, here it is losing, right? Oxidation. So, reduction has to be gaining of one or more electrons, right? Yes. So the substance, okay, now see, similarly the reaction in which a reactant loses oxygen to form the product is called the reduction reaction. The substance that brings about reduction is called reductant or a reducing agent. Now you know the substance that brought about oxidation, we called it as oxidant, right? Oxidizing agent. Now here the substance which is going to bring about reduction, we are going to call it as reductant or a reducing agent. Okay, yes. Now see, the next one is, okay, which is the reductant in this reaction? Yes, can you tell me which is the reductant in this reaction? Cupric oxide plus hydrogen, okay, H2. So copper, okay, this cupric oxide has lost oxygen and has become copper, right? Yes. So what has happened here? Cupric oxide, yes, is reduced to copper, right? Yes, in this case, okay, wait, let me show it to you. See, in this case, okay, what type of reaction has taken place? Reduction reaction has taken place, correct? Yes. Now here you can see hydrogen has gained oxygen, right? Yes, hydrogen has gained oxygen and it has formed water. So this is what type of reaction? Oxidation reaction. Okay. Now let us study further about this oxidation and reduction when it happens together. Let us study further. Okay. Yes, before that let me show you one small clip regarding oxidation and reduction reaction.
Oxidation reaction. The name itself tells us that it is related to oxygen. How? Let us see. If in a reaction substance gains oxygen, it will be termed as an oxidation reaction. For example, if we take 1 gram of copper powder in a dish and we heat it. Once we heat it, the copper powder will be coated with black copper oxide. That means copper, Cu, reacted with oxygen, that is O2, and forms copper oxide. Now here, this is copper 2 oxide. Copper 2 indicates that the valency of copper is 2 and oxygen valency is also 2. So the formula becomes CuO.
See, the valency, you know how to write the formula, right? When you want to write the formula for a compound, see the valency of copper is 2, right? And oxygen is also 2. So when you are writing the formula of a compound, okay, see copper oxide, that time you are going to write the valency of copper to oxygen and of oxygen to copper, right? So here both are 2 and 2. So it's going to get simplified and it's going to just remain CuO.